Today our lesson is going to be on variables and expressions. We actually did a lot of this in the last unit with equations, so it should be a review for you. Translating verbal expressions. To translate verbal expressions into algebraic expressions, choose a variable to represent the unknown quantity in the problem. So as we're reading through these, just like we did with equations, we're going to ask ourselves, what do we not know? We need to let a variable, doesn't matter what it is, let it equal whatever we don't know. So in example A, 24 more cookies than Hallie made. We don't know how many cookies Hallie made. So I'm going to say let X equal the number of cookies Hallie made. So if I'm writing an expression, 24 more cookies than Hallie made, I'm going to start with X, the number that Hallie made, and I'm going to add 24. My key words there are more, 24 more cookies. That tells me I need to add. All right, in the second example, 4 less than 3 times the number of students. We don't know the number of students, so I'm going to say let X equal the number of students. Now, our key words here, 4 less than 3 times the number of students. Remember, 4 less than means I want to take that 4 away. So I want to start with 3 times the number of students, so 3x, and I'm going to take away 4 because it's 4 less than 3 times the number. So it's got to be at the end, 3x minus 4. To evaluate an algebraic expression, here are our steps. First, replace the variables with the known values. And second, use order of operations. Remember, order of operations is PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right, so looking at C, our directions say C equals -3 and D equals 7. So I know what the value of C and D are, what the values are, so I can simply substitute them in. So 6 times, instead of C, I'm going to put in a -3. Plus 4 minus 3, instead of D, I know I can put in 7. Following order of operations, I need to multiply. So 6 times -3 is -18, plus 4. -3 times 7 is -21. All right, now doing my addition and subtraction from left to right. -18 plus 4 is -14. Minus 21 equals -35. So on these, you're actually going to get an answer. When it says evaluate, that means you need an answer. All right, looking at D. D says 4 times D minus C plus 1. I'm going to keep my 4. Instead of D, I plug in a 7. Instead of C, I plug in a -3. And then I have a plus 1. Now, order of operations tells me I've got to do parentheses first. So, 7 minus -3 is 10. Plus 1. Now, for order of operations, I have to multiply. So, 40 plus 1. And we know that 40 plus 1 equals 41. Again, when you evaluate these algebraic expressions, you should have one answer at the end, just one number. All right, looking at the last one, example E. Example E says 7 plus 3 times D, which is 7, over 4 times C is -3, minus 2. All right, looking at just our numerator, 7 plus 3 times 7 is 21. In the denominator, -12 minus 2. Simplifying, 7 plus 21 is 28. -12 minus 2 is -14. If you divide that, you get -2. So my answer is -2. So make sure first, replace the variables. Second, use order of operations. Last thing for today is absolute value. Absolute value of a number is the distance between the number and 0 on a number line. Absolute value is always positive. Always, always, always positive. The symbol for absolute value is a vertical bar drawn on either side of the number or variable. So for example, the absolute value of -5. If you look back in the back of the room at the number line and you find -5, if we count how many spaces you would have to move to get to 0, you would have to move 5 spaces. From -5 to -4 to -3 to -2 to -1 to 0. So you would move 5 spaces. Alright, for example, the absolute value of 23 is still positive 23. I would be moving backwards, but I'm still moving those spaces. Absolute value is kind of like walking. Just because I'm walking backwards doesn't mean I'm walking negative steps. I'm still taking those steps, I'm just moving in a different direction. So we can evaluate expressions using absolute value. So for this one, we have 3m plus the absolute value of n divided by 2n plus 8. They tell me m is 9 and n is -5. So substituting in, 3 times m is 9 plus the absolute value of n is -5 over 2 times -5 plus 8. Alright, simplifying. 3 times 9 is 27. Plus, now the absolute value of -5, just like on the last slide, how many spaces is -5 from 0? Positive 5. 2 times -5 is -10 plus 8. So simplifying, 27 plus 5 is 32. -10 plus 8 is -2. I can actually divide that. 32 divided by -2 is -16. So again, even if it has absolute value, I'm still evaluating. If I am evaluating, then I am going to actually find one answer. So my answer is going to be a number, just a number. Alright, now I need for you to do classwork. This classwork is on page 272, numbers 1 through 7. Come show this to me when you finish, and I will give you this homework. So make sure that you are working. You can't get the homework assignment until you come show me your classwork.